Hi everybody, I hope you had a lovely holiday and welcome back to school after the half term. This half term we're going to be looking at the value of gratitude. It's a really good time to be thinking about what we're grateful for. I know lots of you have already watched the Ash Wednesday Assembly, and if you haven't, it is still on YouTube for you to go and have a look at. It's got a lovely message from Father McMahon in there as well. But today we're going to have a look at the ways in which we show gratitude in our lives. And I've chosen for this assembly this book called Last Stop on Market Street. I absolutely love this book and I think you're going to enjoy it too. So when we're thinking about gratitude, we're thinking about the things that we have around us. And our story starts with a little boy called CJ. CJ pushed through the church doors and skipped down the steps. The outside air smelled like freedom, but it also smelled like rain, which freckled CJ's shirt and dripped down his nose. Now, before we go on, I want you just, as people who might not have heard the word gratitude before, I know some of you have talked about it in class. We talked about it last year in lots of our assemblies, and we're talking about giving thanks for things, being grateful for things. So as I read through this story, I'd like you to think about the things that you think our character CJ might be grateful for. He ducked under his Nana's umbrella, saying, "How come we got to wait for the bus and all this wet?" "Trees get thirsty too," his Nana told him. "Don't you see that big one drinking through a straw?" CJ looked for a long time, but he never saw a straw. I think she must be talking about the trunk of the tree there. There we go. So the rain is giving the tree what it needs. From the bus stop, he watched water pool on the flower petals. He watched rain patter against the windscreen of a nearby car. His friend Colby climbed in, gave CJ a wave, and drove off with his dad. "Nana, how come we don't got a car?" said CJ. And there is his friend driving off in his car. "Boy, what do we need a car for? We've got a bus that breathes fire. And old Mr. Dennis, who always has a trick for you." The bus creaked to a stop in front of them. It sighed and sagged, and the doors swung open. There we go, look. There's the dragon on the side of it, breathing fire, and all the people that I think he normally sees on his bus every day. I'm sure he wouldn't see if it was in a car on his own. "What's that I see?" Mr. Dennis asked. He pulled a coin from behind CJ's ear and placed it in his palm. Nana laughed her deep laugh and pushed CJ along. They sat right up front. The man across the way was tuning a guitar. An old woman with curlers had butterflies in a jar. Nana gave everyone a great big smile and a good afternoon, and she made sure that CJ did the same. Always good to have lovely manners, isn't it? I think that always shows that you're grateful for things if you can say please and thank you. The bus lurched forward and stopped. Lurched forward and stopped. Nana hummed as she knitted. "How come we always got to go here after church?" CJ said. "Miguel and Colby never have to go nowhere." "I feel sorry for those boys," she told him. "They'll never get a chance to meet Bobo or the sunglasses man. And I hear Trixie got herself a brand new hat." CJ stared out of the window, feeling sorry for himself. He watched cars zip by on either side, and he watched a group of boys hop curbs on bikes. Gosh, doesn't that sound like an exciting ride? All of those things that are happening with this Nana of his. A man climbed aboard with a spotted dog. CJ gave up his seat. "How come that man can't see?" "Oh boy, what do you know about seeing?" Nana told him. "Some people watch the world with their ears." "That's a fact. Their noses too," the man said, sniffing at the air. "That's a mighty fine perfume you're wearing today, Mom." Nana squeezed the man's hand and laughed her deep laugh. Two older boys got on next. CJ watched as they moved on by and stood back. "Sure wish I had one of those," he said. Nana set down her knitting. "What for?" "You've got a real live thing sitting across from you. Why don't you ask the man if he'll play us a song?" So it looks like these people are kind of wearing an iPod or something and sharing their headphones. But the man opposite has got a guitar. CJ didn't have to. The guitar player was already plucking at the strings and beginning to sing. "To feel the magic of music," the blind man whispered, I like to close my eyes. And Nana closed hers too. So did CJ. And the spotted dog. Like the good friends, don't they? I love this picture here. And in the darkness, the rhythm lifted CJ out of the bus, out of that busy city. He saw sunset colours swirling over crashing waves. He saw a family of hawks slicing through the sky. He saw the old woman's butterflies dancing free in the light of the moon. CJ's chest grew full and he was lost in the sound. And the sound gave him the feeling of magic. The song ended and CJ opened his eyes. Everyone on the bus clapped, even the boys in the back. Nana glanced at the coin in CJ's palm. CJ dropped it into the man's hat. "Last stop on Market Street," Mr. Dennis called. There we are. Wonder where they're going after this bus ride. CJ looked around as he stepped off the bus. Grumbling, crumbling pavements and broken down doors, graffiti-tagged windows and boarded-up stores. He reached for his Nana's hand. "How come it's so dirty over here?" he said. She smiled and she pointed at the sky. "Sometimes, when you're surrounded by dirt, CJ, you're a better witness for what is beautiful." CJ saw the perfect rainbow arcing over their soup kitchen. He wondered how his Nana always found beautiful where he never even thought to look. He looked at all around them again, at the bus rounding the corner out of sight, and at the broken street lamps still lit up by bright, and the stray cat shadows moving across the wall. When he spotted their familiar faces in the window, he said to himself, "I'm glad we came." There we are. They're all the people that he's gone to meet after church with his Nana on the bus. He thought his Nana might laugh, a deep laugh, but she didn't. She patted him on the head and told him, "Me too, CJ. Now come on." And there we go. That's the end of the story. And he's obviously gone with his Nana on that wonderful journey to the last stop on Market Street, where he's gone to help out with other people at a soup kitchen. Now, my favourite part of that story is this page here. It said, "She smiled and pointed at the sky. Sometimes when you're surrounded by dirt, CJ, you're a better witness for what is beautiful." And that is what we're going to think about in our topic of gratitude. I want you to think about all the little things, all the small things that are around you that you're grateful for. At the moment, you're not going on lots of trips to different places and holidays and having trips to the cinema or parties because, we're all inside a little bit more than we would like to be and we're not seeing lots of family members. But there are still things around us that we can be grateful for. There are still FaceTime calls that we can be grateful for to our families in different places. There are still ways in which we can enjoy nature when we go to the park, or we can go and have a lovely time with our family somewhere. It might even be that we're having a little bit more time with our family members in a way that we don't normally, and that's lovely too. So I want you to have a think about the things that you are grateful for, the little things, the things that are outside. It might be today, the sun's come out and it's absolutely beautifully lighting up the trees and things around me, and I love it when it's like that. So I'm going to be grateful for those little bits of nature that I see a bit more often than I might have done in the past. So I would like you, to think about gratitude and attitude. We did talk about this a little bit last year in our assembly on gratitude, and we want you at St. John's to think about always putting on an attitude that is, I am going to be grateful and thankful for the little things around me. I don't have to be happy all the time. I might not always like everything that's happening and might be sad about things, but actually in looking for things that we think are good for us and things that we've been given and the things that we're grateful for, it can make us feel much more positive about the world around us. So we're going to ask you this Lent to put some gratitude into your attitude, because there is always something to be thankful for. And we would like you to think about the ways in which you're blessed with the things around you, and we'd like to know about them. So after this assembly, what I would like you to do is I would like you, with the sheet that you've been sent either on Tapestry or on Showbie by your teacher, is I would like you to show me the little things that you are grateful for. Now, I've given you 4 boxes. You can always use more than one sheet if you'd like to. I'd like you to think of those little moments of magic, either through drawing or writing. You could even use on the boxes some bits of drawing and some bits of writing. And I'd like you to send them to me to have a look at. We're going to include lots of them on our newsletter, and also we've got a display in school that when we're back, hopefully in a couple of weeks together, you'll be able to see all the things that we're grateful for around the school. And it might remind you, when you see other people's moments of magic, you might actually think, oh, that's one of mine as well, and remind yourself of the things that you can show gratitude for too. So that's what I'd like to do this week, and I'd like to send those to info@stjohnsrc.net. If you can't do that, and it's easy to put on Showbie, do so, and I'll pick them up from Showbie or from Tapestry in that way too, but it is easier if you send it to info@. One of the things that I love is the school song that lots of children last year and Sam wrote together. And as you can see as I read through the poem that is our song words, gratitude is this on the second line. Love of God, others and all creation. Gratitude, a sense of appreciation. Believe that you are special. Fill your lives with joy. Be yourself. Shine your light for all to see. And in shining your light, you can show me the things you are grateful for too. Things might be some talent that you've been given, or a talent that you've really worked on so that you're much better at something than you have been in the past. They're the things I want you to share with us. So I've also, if you click on here, you can hear the background Sam's playing as well. As you're doing it, you can maybe show your parents and sing for them this song with the words at the same time. So I've put all that on YouTube for you, so you can share that with your family, because I think they'd like to hear you sing it too. So have a lovely week, and hopefully, as I say, hopefully we're back together again soon. But just a reminder that we are thinking about you all the time, and if you ever need anything, you know where we are. We're at the end of the Showbie, or we're just stay on at the end of your Teams or your Zoom meeting each day, or you can send us an email at info@. But we're here for you if you need us, and we're looking forward to seeing you soon. I'm certainly looking forward to the things that you're grateful for, the things that you're going to have as your gratitude attitude this half term. Take care and see you next week.